So like, okay. So I think let's come back to the teaching learning mode. I think after a nice conversation, very nice conversation with you all. So in the morning, this session was like, I think the continuation of what you had discussed in the morning. So I will be continuing with what Sandhya ma'am was taking into, and just another paradigm shift only, especially for developing highly effective teachers. So this is what we are going to discuss even today, even in this session. By the end of the session, the main objectives and the outcome and the main learning outcome, we can say, you will be able to identify what are the major improvements required for your institution, what are the ingredients that are given by the prominent leaders for transiting or transforming from an organization or companies or an individual teachers from good to great. So we are just shifting from good to great. You'll also be able to identify your hedgehog. How can you apply the concept of hedgehog and not a fox concept? And also we will see, you will be able to manage and identify what are the various problems of staff underperforming and how to manage it. So these are some of the outcomes that we will be able to know by the end of the session. So this is a book. I think if someone of you are from management, you might know this. It's a book, Good to Great by Jim Collins. This book is basically for the management study and applying it in companies, but we can surely implement in our organization as well as the concept which is given in this book. It seems to be very good. So what this good to great, by the way, is there any difference between good to great?
Yeah, of course. There's a lot of difference.
Yeah, what do you say?
Great teaching is like when the students are bubbling with, the eyes. In fact, the eyes are twinkling with a lot of enthusiasm, and you can understand by seeing their face. Mm-hmm. Good is that they just give a halka smile kind of thing. Okay, chalo, it's like
chalega type.
Yeah, good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great is
any others also. Yeah, continue, sir.
Yeah. So great is the one when the entire class reflects to what you're actually trying to convey, and basically you will be able to understand from the vibe of the class itself. I mean that you have done a great lecture, and after the class also you would find that when you're leaving, some students will come to you and then say, sir, this part was very interesting. So how did you do this? When they're asking questions even after you're leaving the class in the corridor, then you understand that that is a great teaching, and you have truly excited the students. Good teaching, that vibe will not come.
Yeah, चलो वो good है पढ़ा रही है, अच्छा पढ़ा रही है, खत्म है ना?
ठीक ठाक है, चलो अच्छा है,
ठीक ठाक है, चलो उसके लिए उसका concept clear है, खत्म.
Exactly.
Great, I think, yeah. Great means like sometimes even after apart from the what Obros has said, that is very true, that reflects instantly, and after that even after 5 years or 10 years, when your student someday again tell you that sir, I can still remember your classes of this particular thing or that particular object or that particular chapter, then you feel really it has marked in that way that he is carrying till date.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody, I think most of us, those who have really passionately teaching, they might have experienced this.
Yeah.
Like, ma'am, I can say that if somebody is a good teacher, then he or she has to prove that she is a good teacher. I mean, he has to sell herself or himself. If someone is a great teacher, people will go after that teacher automatically.
Actually, what happened? If you want to know whether we are teaching good or great, if we just survey our past batch students, actually,
exactly,
then it is the student who are entering the new batch, they easily know which compulsory subject they need to be taken, because they already known from the previous batches, but they are 16-year students, they who are the teachers are actually giving good teaching or quality teaching, or who are rest of the batch, they already known from that factor actually already.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, now
Ma-
see, that was from the point of view of student and teacher, we can say. Now, if we think from our side, suppose if I'm a teacher and I'm thinking from my point of view, then what we can say, good to great. Suppose if I want to transform from good to great.
Madam, whether I can incite the self-learning capability of a student, whether I am only delivering the thing and they are listening, that is a good teacher. Definitely all of us are preparing our syllabus well, and we are going and delivering it in the class. That is definitely a good teaching. But when we will incite the inquisitiveness of the students, they will automatically come to us and they will think us as a part of their life. If we can do that, that will become a great teacher.
Right. Yes.
only sometimes what happens is we just only follow the whatever the books or whatever the notes we are taking actually. So I feel that most of the cases when I have given the student the real life examples of that that question or that thing, that thing, but only not good, getting through the definition. When I teach them through the real life definition, and that remember him till what till the I think every time he can remember that thing, and that feelings actually give him a better experience from the subject actually.
Yeah, if I also feel like see, when you are in a teacher is not in only in the classroom. Teacher does not teach. When you are, I feel his teacher is not just a teacher. He should not only teach. It should also be out of the classroom to be a great teacher. Good teacher can be inside the classroom, but great teacher can be outside the classroom, inside the classroom.
Yes,
You
yes.
should be within the student's life.
Absolutely.
Take absolute part in students' life and understanding, because there are some students in our group where they may have family problems, they may have economical drawbacks, there may be so many problems because of which even if the teacher is good, he cannot do anything. He's not getting any our input. So if I feel to be a great teacher, understanding, empathy, being a part of their life, that should also be one side of teaching as a profession.
Absolutely. I agree with you, madam. He should be a subject guru. He should be a life guru.
Life guru.
Yeah. I mean,
and I mean, sir, like today, most of us, maybe in as per knowledge, we may be all good. As per our field's knowledge, we may be doctorate. But when we come to student, when we come to person, individual, there are so many things to learn from them. So great teachers, I think they're also a great learner.
absolutely.
Okay, so any more from your side? Any input from your side? Others also? So this book, like all of you said, very nice input. All of you have the idea, and being a good teacher is not enough. Being a great teacher is another transition that we should be able to come up with. So this book, Jim Collins, this example, why it is given is because it has a nice concept provided by Collins. That was a concept of hedgehog. Has anyone heard about this hedgehog concept? Hedgehog concept, this one. Any one of you have maybe heard about this concepts previously? Yes.
Okay. I understood the concept, madam.
No, so, have you heard about this hedgehog concept?
No.
before?
I did not hear it before, but seeing this particular picture, philosophically, I'm able to understand that what this hedgehog wants to convey.
Yeah, this is actually a famous essay which was written by Isaac Berlin. If you can surf internet, you'll easily find the story about the hedgehog and fox. I think hedgehog is like a small animal. It's not a porcupine. It's not an it's something like there are spikes in him and it can roll. They're in cartoons and all. We can see this hedgehog nicely. I think this just converts itself to ball, and all the spikes are within him. He hides himself within that all spiky balls. No, that is a hedgehog. If you can, if you know. Whereas fox, yeah, sir.
But why is it called as hedgehog? Hedgehogs have a single unifying idea. I mean, how is it related to that animal?
Yeah, that is another thing. But I'm just saying, animal, like an animal, it's like a small animal where it has all spikes and it can roll. It will just convert into ball and it will roll. No, so that's a hedgehog animal. And on the other side we have fox. So this there is a story, this essay by this between these two animals. The concept, the essay actually states that fox is always trying to attack hedgehog. Hedgehog is a prey, and fox is trying to attack hedgehog. Now hedgehog is so determined to not being attacked by fox. He tries to hide himself, and whenever fox comes with one idea and tries to attack hedgehog just turns into a spiky ball and he rolls away. And fox, again, he comes tomorrow with another idea. Again, the hedgehog does the same thing. Again, fox comes with another idea second day. Like that, fox is always coming with multiple ideas. But hedgehog is always defending. So the concept between these two is like hedgehog is having single unifying idea. He doesn't have multiple. He just know that he has to defend himself. Whereas fox is like, how should I get hold of this hedgehog? So he thinks of multiple ideas. So when you are thinking of multiple ideas, it may not be a success. That's the concept. So, we say that for teaching and learning, great, if you want to transit from good to great, you should be a hedgehog, not a fox. The meaning is, don't have multiple ideas in your head at the same time. You may not be able to focus. That's the main idea. You might, go out of your focal point. Whereas hedgehog is always determined to be defending himself, and he just have one idea. So that was a simple essay essay given, but this Jim Collin, he used this concept in his book for the organization's transition from good to great. Did you get my point?
Yeah. Madam, the interesting part over here is that single unifying idea. The word unifying is something which is a very good word. I mean, it is actually taking a lot of multiple ideas and then unifying together into one single concrete idea, and then defending that idea and then explaining it to the students.
Yeah. That's the idea. Means whenever you have united, uniform, whole, like one single focused, there's always a chance of greater success rather than, today you will think, okay, today I will open a shop. And tomorrow morning you will say, no, I will open, I will start a hotel business. Okay, then again, another third day, you will just wake up early in the morning and think, no, I will do this business. So when you're having that type of things, your focus point is not there. So you might not even become an entrepreneur. You might not even, start a business. You might maybe in zero. That's what it means. If you have a determination and understanding of what you are best at, think about that only. The concept is this. Means, did you get my point?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Means it has to be united. Don't change your ideas. So the Collins, the concept of hedgehog in the book, it is basically based on three main circles. Like, if you are following hedgehog concept, you should follow these 3 things. You should ask question to yourself, like, what is your thing on which you are very much passionate about, you love to do. You should think about that first. You should also think, what is the best thing that you can do at. So, and also what may be the best drive for you to improve your economy. So the main thing is understanding. It's not how you're going to do. It's not what you're going to do, because that is secondary. As per hedgehog concept, as per this animals, this small story, it is saying that first thing is you should have a good understanding of what you can do best at. Sometime, I entered my teaching field, let's say, and after some years you think, oh, no, I don't like teaching, I don't want to be there. Then you come out and you go to the company and you say, no, I don't like to be in the company. Like one movie was there, no, Salman Khan ka, I don't know whether you have seen or not, that Kick movie, that Kick movie, the name of the movie is Kick.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So something like that, no? The Salman Khan is always finding out something, finding out something like what should be the best that he can do. So that is what hedgehog concept means. We should focus on one line. We should be able to know what am I good at, what best I can do, and what best drives my economy. So if you can do this, if you are following a concept of hedgehog, I think transforming from good to great can become a very nice decision. So this is the concept of hedgehog. So now I think you are clear about the concept, about the story, fox and hedgehog. So don't try to be a fox, try to be a hedgehog. It is said by Jim Collins, not by me. Most of the companies, most of the CEOs, he had done case studies, researched on this, and finally he came to a conclusion that if you are a hedgehog, success is there. If you become a fox, then maybe you'll not even you may not even start. So success may be very far. So that was what he stated. If you take up this, if you become a hedgehog, if you want to become a hedgehog, if you know hedgehog, if you want to become, if you want to know what we can achieve this, so it becomes easy for us to transit from good to great. So that was his concept.
Actually, ma'am, that jack of all trades, that the ancient proverb, that also has come from this concept. That means jack of all trades means master of nothing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. Yeah, you can relate it to that very clearly. You should not be jack of all trades, but mostly engineers are stated as, jack of all trades, master of none. So maybe it doesn't work in the organization. So that's what. And mostly, so what happens is, we as an individual, because if you want to be doing something great, we first as an individual should know what you are best at. And I think this is where we miss. We look at a larger picture every time, we look at all the different types of things around, but we don't think about ourselves. We never think about our passion. Maybe after 50 years, after 60 years of work, and then you say, was I passionate about this area? Was I passionate about teaching? Was I passionate about, starting up this business? When you do not have passion, when you do not know that you are best at that thing, maybe it becomes very difficult. Struggles becomes more, no? Yes or no, sir? So, understanding is, I think, most difficult part. All of us. Do we understand ourselves? Do you understand yourself? Do you know what you're best at? Do we question this sometime? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I question it every day. Like, what I'm good at and what I'm not. So
Yeah. Do you find the answer to that?
yeah, when I was young, I was very oscillating between what I want and what I don't want. But as time passed, and with maturity now, I think I am more into into what I really want. I know that much more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think making help understanding others might be easy, but understanding ourselves is what the most difficult part each one of us have. And sometimes what happens is you think that you know everything about yourself, but so what happens your friend comes and says, oh, no, you are like this, you are like that. Sometimes they point out your characteristics and all those things. That time you realize, oh, am I like this? Has happened to you? Has it happened to you, any of you, like that? You think I'm very good at dancing, or am I very good at controlling my anger, but I think so, not the others. It happens, no? Sometimes people should question you, then you will be able to understand even yourself, because we become biased when we think ourselves also. Anyways, so having passion is one very important thing that we all should start finding, even though it may be never too late. It's not late for anything. So we need to find out what you are best at. You should be able to understand what you're good at, so you follow your dreams. So that is what the hedgehog concept is. If you do that, it becomes very easy to get success. So for teaching and learning, if I'm very, very much enthusiastic about this teaching field, if I'm very much, passionate, because some teachers are born to be a teacher, and most of them are not born, they are just forced to be a teachers. And that is why maybe our education quality is degrading. So now what I want you all to do, so not in group, you can do it in individual. You can write it down in pen and paper. I'll give you just 5 minutes of time. You just find out what way or how will you find out the best way to improve teaching and learning within your institute. Can you answer this question? And please think out of the box, not that general, simple, whatever we think, we see. Can you just think out of the box and find out the best way to improve teaching and learning in your institute? Please do it. Once you have done, you can speak up. Doing so, madam?
Yes, ma'am. We are thinking.
Okay.
How much time left, madam?
No, once you finish, you can, anyone who finishes can.
I didn't finish, but I can give you a little bit of an insight to the question what you've asked.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, as far as the engineering courses are concerned, so I think it is a very classical way of approach on every courses what we take, like LTP, we call it as an LTP. That is lecture, tutorial, and practical, right? And then you give some sort of credit, like 3 credits, and maybe you can give 2 credits to the practical. I think this is quite an outdated way of approaching a particular course. Simply, compartmentalizing it into lecture, tutorial, and practical. That can be further broken down. The entire course can be further broken down. In fact, if you see the US and European or Japanese universities, if you see the courses, the way they break their lectures, in fact, the entire course, if you see, and the final credit, you would find that classroom teaching is one component of it. Of course, it's a very important component. When the teacher comes, he shows his slides, he shows the concept. Apart from that, they also bring people from industry, depending on the lecture. For example, you're taking a lecture on robotics. So you can actually, the individual university along with the teacher can call some experts from robotic industry to give the practical know-how on the theoretical classes on which the faculty is already taking. So classroom teaching along with some lectures from the industrial lectures. Then again, some case studies in groups. So we can break that into several groups, and then some case studies, real life case studies can be given. And then some design problems, and then each group can present to the teacher. Some tutorials. Tutorial is basically continuous monitoring of the material which is given in the class, not really assignment. But after a concept has been taught, you can actually give some small task. You can give sheets to the student, let them sit in the computer, and then you can guide them one-to-one, and see that how whatever concept you have taught, how in tutorial, how they are able to apply that formula, or how they are able to apply that particular concept. Apart from that, there should be seminars also on a related topic. For example, suppose there is a lecture on control of robotic systems. So a particular batch of students can give lectures on the control algorithms, on the mechanics of robots, on the applications of robot for industrial applications. So some seminars can be taken. So students can also give some seminars. There can be also some mini projects, like small. In fact, the lab cannot be should not be separate. In fact, lab can be integrated within the like within the course itself. So breaking it, absolutely compartmentalizing it like lecture, then / tutorial / practical. That makes it very compartmentalized. Mini project and lab can be also part of the lecture. And then finally, they have to visit the industry. There should be a small industrial tour. In fact, per course, it should not be like, one industrial tour in 3rd year in the summer, or one industrial tour after final year. That doesn't really break, because every course, every technical course, depending on the orientation, has an industrial mapping. So let us say you take a course on production management and operation. So the faculty can, they can, along with the authority of the university or the college, they can talk to an industry, and then they can go for production management. How production is done, how production is optimized. Really see the industrial, real life scenario, right? And that is a way. And also the complete grade, the final grade should not be based on one particular exam. 80 marks of only question paper. The fellow who can articulate himself into squeezing his entire knowledge within this 3 hours, and he's very efficient in doing that. But that is not really innovation. Innovation. So I think there is a very flawed thing in our education system when everything is emphasized on one single exam, where a lot of people I've seen, a lot of students I've seen who are not into really, they don't crack a lot of within that 3 hours duration. They're unable to, they may not be able to get good marks, but they're sometimes extremely innovative. They give good seminars. they come up with good ideas, and once you're directing them in tutorials, they even give some good answers. So I think from LTP kind of an approach, which we most of the courses now in India, which we follow lecture, tutorial, and practical, we might actually break them down, and teachers should have the autonomy. It should not be imposed on the faculty that how you want to get the maximum output. There should not be something like that. Teachers should break his complete thing. Like if you see in IISc Bangalore or in top universities, even in IIT Kanpur, you don't find there is a standard thing like LTP and this is what you need to follow. In IISc Bangalore, you find that even without exams, students are also getting grades with completely on case studies, and teacher is monitoring the class, and then they are doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I think that shift is required. Otherwise, we will be completely, we will be only this, examination-based assessment. Only a few people who can just do it, and it would be a disaster.
Yeah. True, sir. Yes, sir. True, sir. Yeah. Okay. Any other?
Hello.
I think someone wants to speak.
Madam, I emphasize my students to conceptualize the problem. Actually, let me tell you, I am representing a very core engineering department, that chemical engineering. And when I was student in my alma mater, that is Jadavpur University, the department has just 1 month before has completed 100 years of chemical engineering education in India. So some of my teachers, those who were the great scholar at that time, so they had made some clue. For example, say, if we are to design a chemical process system, then what we require to do, we require to draw the flow sheet, quantify it, what is the amount of material, how the material will flow, and all these things, how the reaction takes place. But all these things in the present style, it goes from forward to backward. But our teachers, my teachers, I have learned that they used to emphasize that you should try to draw these things from backward to forward. Then actually how much conceptualization part you have, you could acquire, that is the taste of that. So similarly, of course, all these things are not, really possible in all the institutes. But still, we emphasize all this, that there should be the adequate importance on the lab teaching, not only the classroom teaching. I have found that many of my students, those are expert in repairing the pump and valve and all these things afterwards. So they got a great, very shining career. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
These
sir.
are the practical things in engineering. Okay. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Any others? I think, madam, any Motushi, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, anything from your side?
No, what I'm thinking about improving the teaching learning in my institute, like what happens in earlier days, the education system was actually used to have only traditional ways of teaching, and students used to sit in the classroom, say for 6 to 7 hours a day, and they are in the continuous lectures. But I hardly think that their mindset is towards the learning. So one thing we can do, which was there in our earlier system, is the outdoor teaching. So in outdoor teaching, what we can incorporate, like we can take the students for the field trips. We can take them to different industries, how actually the things are going on there. Like in the states, how actually the things are developed in the industries. We will allow them to interact outside the classroom, and they can have the effective communication within themselves. We can update our teaching methodologies. Like previously, we were just giving the lectures. At most, we were just developing the different PowerPoint presentations. Now, we have to now conceptualize the different strategies for different types of teaching methodologies. Like what I can say, like conduct learning activities in the classroom. And we are obviously in this online teaching days, we are adopting the different technologies or materials, and we are focusing on visual learning.
Right.
They can, they can retain the information for longer periods of time than the words. If they can visualize the things, it impacts more, I think. Instead of saying the things to them, if we are just showing them how the things are going on, that will definitely hammer their brain.
Yeah, and even like today, the attitude of student, if you see, technology has made them so advanced that they don't want to listen to anyone.
True, ma'am.
Yeah.
Different learning styles should be adopted by the students also, no? Like visual, oral, and physical,
so we have to think of some mode of teaching such that, even these fast learners should be very interested in learning. They are very fast learners nowadays. It is not like our time where, teachers used to tell whatever they used to tell, we used to follow. It's not like that. No, the learners have changed. I think the focus does so much like towards the learners that they have different way of thinking. It was not like in our days.
Give them automated questions, different quizzes, even the feedback from them, and more by whatever this Swamiji was also saying, that mentoring method, mentoring process, mentoring is also there in our institute. We are giving the students the personalized guidance.
That is the most important thing, actually. What Moteshi madam said is mentoring. I also wanted to add this point. That is, see, they are studying around 40 subjects in one particular field, like in electronics or mechanical, and all the subjects are quite scattered. They don't know how to integrate them, and they cannot set a track. Right. For example, they're studying signals and systems, digital signal processing, communication, VLSI, electronic devices. Now, every subject can be clustered into one career track. That has to be well defined, and that can be only done by mentoring. Right.
Yes, this personalized guidance.
Yeah, if you're interested in circuit kind of things like analog circuit, digital circuit, then embedded systems, VLSI, then you can go into, FPG or VLSI career. If you're interested in communication kind of subjects, then you can go into communication. If you're interested in multidisciplinary things like mechatronics, like robotics, like control systems, then you can go in for example, in mechatronics kind of a career. So that also has to be very clearly from second year itself. That continuous mentoring is required. See, in my time when I did my engineering in 96, 95, we used to study so many subjects, and I did not know some subjects. Why am I studying? What is the industrial benefit of studying that subject? In what kind of way I can actually make a career in that particular subject? But I think now we have to be very clear. See, that time engineering just flourished in India. Even the colleges were not that matured. Even the faculty was not that matured. But I think India has now crossed that stage, and we are already now giving a big. We are supposed to become a superpower. At least we are aspiring that for it, and definitely it is going to happen. Definitely it is going to happen. And we
another
are also
thing, ma'am. Another thing which I was thinking that, like from computer science, as I am from computer science background. So previously, what happened when we were students? So the teachers were coming to our classroom and they were just teaching us, in this you have to write the programs like these first you have to write void, main, open. Then they are writing the programs. Then they are saying they execute them. Do these things in this way, the programs are going on, this sort of things. But nowadays what sir was saying, that from the second year onwards, we are engaging our students in different hackathon like things.
Exactly.
So, real-time basis, the problems are coming, they are solving them. So they are understanding how to tackle the time as well as the different problems. So
because knowledge, so they can even see the YouTube and they will learn. Because there are so many resources available. We have to do something which is not available.
We must encourage them for self-learning procedure.
Self-learning, right.
And let us not undermine our country, because you see, because of that only you are here to give us training. The NBA is there, the NAC process is there.
Yeah.
So India is now comparatively much focused country. I mean, there are a lot of lacunas, I agree, but I think we abhi hum log jaag gaye hain. It will be very difficult to stop it. Nowadays, world needs India, and everybody knows it very well.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir.
True, sir.
I would like to add something, that the concept of minor must be taken very immediately, because although it is there within some universities, some colleges, but it is not perfectly adopted or perfectly, you know, given to all institutes as a instruction or something like that. So it is still in under process. Like for example, somebody is having a major of computer science, but he wants to do a minor in electronics, some circuits and all. Then that thing is nowadays needed in modern India, as this is Make India project that people are aspiring. So if we really want to make something, then definitely we need interdisciplinary knowledge, because a project, whenever a student does, he understands that there is no particular engineering which can really make the society, or everybody have to come together to do anything actually. So if the minor concept is properly deployed in all universities and all the affiliated or the autonomous colleges, if they can employ that with the proper guidance to the choice-based credit system, and also the MOOCs, proper use of MOOCs. It's not like anything you take and any way you go, but there must be some proper guidance where exactly which direction you will find out jobs, and for that how you want to prepare from very early stage, as Sir was also saying, from second year level itself, and also give them projects as much as possible, so that they understand what is the real application of whatever they're reading. Because application oriented learning is the best process basically. जब हम कुछ पढ़ते हैं, पढ़ के जितना भी सीखते हैं, तो कुछ करने में तभी जाके ज्यादा सीखते हैं। जैसे कि हमारे यहाँ पे भी होता है, तो हम कुछ थ्योरी कम याद रखते हैं, पर गेम ज्यादा याद रखते हैं। मतलब गेम इज लाइक एक्टिविटी इन व्हिच we can connect the theory and practice and everything. We can connect our heart in a game, and that's how it becomes wonderful, and we can learn it and we can remember for a very long time. So but one major challenge that people, I think most of the teachers face nowadays, is the problem of attendance. In anything good you want to start, or anything great you want to felicitate in your institute, attendance is now a huge issue. Because if you're unable to take everyone at least once, you cannot just convey ki ha kya acha hone wala hai. So it's very much important. For example, just if you think about this particular workshop, if such thing happens that in one session 5% is there, and in the other session another 5% or mixture of 2 persons are there, then ultimately there will be no output, or the output will be there will be no concrete thing coming up. So just like this program, every class, every course, the attendance process, or the how to make the attendance mandatory. I have seen few colleges, they are so strict in attendance, and they really make huge very nice products. I mean, the human resource I'm talking about, and then they are getting crores of, I mean, lakhs they're starting in lakhs CTC, at over 10 lakhs, over 15-20 lakhs. But their attendance system is so hard that during that time many people have to leave their colleges. So I don't know, all colleges can't endure that, because they again feel like fear whether they will get the students or not. So it's a complicated situation right now in India.
But slowly I think these challenges we can come up with any solutions.
But add one point, ma'am, that in the offline time we are giving chocolates for doing this. So some sort of reward if is there in any sort of teaching to learning process, and going out of the track. So in that way,
sir, next time, sir, there's still workshop 3 remaining. No, it's not over yet.
But in workshop 3 there will be a lot of backlog of chocolates starting from workshop 2.
So did you get any chocolates in workshop 1?
Yeah, we got. We are not even considering workshop 1. We are considering chocolates from workshop 2.
Is it possible to have a workshop 2 in Sikkim at least? We could not go UK, but at least we could go Sikkim.
So Sikkim you can easily come. No? So we should think of some other place, not Kolkata, some other. Yeah, third workshop should be some other place, no, so that we all can enjoy.
Maybe Bangkok.
We should tell Dudley about this.
Now, who will sponsor it, Dr. Sandeep? I mean,
AICTE should sponsor. AICTE has sponsored. Please ask madam that how much they sponsored, how much money they spent during their training, and what they are spending now.
We visited many places during our workshop,
right?
And I think, I think for you also there should be something.
Yeah.
But we had a talk last time with Matt from Dudley. So he was saying, like, it depends upon AICTE.
मुझे मैडम आज बोलिए मुझे कि जाना है 1 महीने बाद यूके, तो अब मैं ऑलवेज रेडी, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। मेरे जैसे लोग मिल जाएंगे आपको, 15 में 10 तो मिल ही जाएंगे।
Let's see. Anyway, so let's move on to the next because we are running out of time maybe. Okay, sir?
Yes.
So yeah, so this slide is what you all were talking about. Yeah, how to find a hedgehog. So like you said, so LTP transforming the, giving teacher autonomy, outside classroom study. So all those can help your institute improve a lot. We will aspire, we as a whole, like, this training itself is made to improve our institute and at the end, right? So there are certain process of finding our hedgehog also. So like we need to have staff forums, visit other institutes, leaders, research, external. So all these you all have covered yourself. And this is one diagram. It is taken up from the same book, Motivation Book, that is by Collins. And if we want to transform from good to great, means if I am good and I want to become great, what to do? So he has provided a cycle. It's a 6 cycle flywheel. We say it is said as flywheel from good to great. So first is like, level 1, first step, level 5 leaders. Second step, you should think about who, not than, rather than what. Confront the brutal facts. Follow your hedgehog concept, identify your hedgehog concept and follow your hedgehog concept. Culture of discipline and technology accelerators. So we'll see this one by one slowly. So these are the flywheels from the Jim Collins Good to Great book. And if you follow this, it is stated that yes, maybe, we can develop good teachers. Great teachers. So the first, number 1, which he assigned as for the first step of flywheel, it is stated that we need to follow level 5 leadership rather than level 4 leadership or level 3 leadership. It's this, like, from individual team members, managers, leaders to executives. So we need to follow this hierarchy. So if you're following this hierarchy, maybe, this leadership of hierarchical leadership, if we are following this, then it's very easy for us to move from good to great. So having a executive who's very, very good, very humble and very modest. If we have a very humble leaders, if we have very, very focused values, success of the organization of an institution is very easy. So that's the first step. Second step is like we should always think of who rather than how, what. So get the right people on the bus. So we are not thinking about ideas right now. So if I have something to do, if I have some purpose in my life, I should focus on that purpose. And how am I going to achieve that purpose is not important in the beginning. It is stated that you should think about who are you going to go with. Get the right people on the bus. It means forget about your vision, forget about where you're going to go, forget about direction. So when you're in the bus, who is the company? That's important. Who is the company with whom you're working? That's very, very important. He said. So first you should think about who is with you. Then only, your vision, your direction, your mission comes into play. So start by getting the right people in the right seat and get off the wrong people from the bus. So that's what he says. But I think this is what we all forget to do. Generally, we all think, no, I have this idea, now I'll start doing. That will not happen. If you have an idea, if you have, mission or vision, stop there, think about who is with you. Okay? If you have right people beside you, you will be your half of the problem will be solved at that point of time. So having a right people will determine great finish. This is what is stated. So think about who rather than what and how you're going to reach. That is the secondary part. So that's the second line of success. Another one is confront brutal facts. Means you have to, if you want to move from good to great, you must be willing to identify and assess some facts or maybe some risk. There may be lots of risk. So you should be able to confront those. Try to ask as many questions as possible. Don't try to find answers in the beginning. Try to find as many as questions as possible, because questions, if you ask more questions, you'll be more, closer to your solution. You should not start debating and, you should not start people forcing. Anything that starts with force will not be good. If you are doing with interest, with zeal, with a discussion, proper discussions, and it will be better. And blaming, that's very common. We always start, if there are some mistakes, we always start with blames. That should not be there. Yeah, there are flaws. You can find out flaws. Autopsies can be done. You can, find out like what happened. Why was this happening? Why was this happening? But stop blaming. If you start blaming, then that will be very difficult. So you should never blame. And then, what are the risk factors that can be there on the process? So you need to find out, and that cannot be ignored. So that is the third step. The fourth is like the hedgehog concept that we had discussed. Okay? So you should always try to do one best thing rather than many things. So like Sir said, jack of all trades. So that should not be there. So single function, one focused idea will, that is the hedgehog concept. Simplicity leads to great. So this helps you to move from good to great. So determine what you are deeply passionate about. So take a lot of time to think, what you are good at, what you are best at. Next is like discipline. Follow your discipline. This is very, very important, but mostly we do not focus on it. And finally, it's technology accelerators. You need to think about, like if I am very crazy about mobile phone, iPhone, and I think I buy an iPhone of maybe 1 lakh rupee. And after 1 month, I feel like, no, I don't like this. I will go and buy another one. So that should not be there. So short-lived craze should not be in the organization. That is what we call as technology accelerators. Even if you are changing your technology, the momentum has to be within your hedgehog concepts. So you need to pause, you need to think, you need to crawl, you need to walk, then you need to run. Don't start running. You might fall. So that is this concept. Okay, so this is the summary. You can just see here. Ensure you have humble, determined level 5 leaders. Just don't start with a single, simple leadership style. You need to get the right people on the right seats, on the bus. You need to find out managing market trends and where you can create customer value, identify strength, focus carefully, all this. So once you go from this first step to the last step, then automatically even if as a teacher in the organization or in the institute, if we try to focus this flow chart, I think, we can move towards our greatness. So this is the summary of what the Collins have provided. Okay, now, so any questions here? Anything, any discussions that you want to make?
No, ma'am, I have understood.
I just want to say here one thing.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, one great way to become a good to great teacher is to see some great teachers who are actually teaching in the class. If you see some of the lectures from MIT, and if you see some of the Tom Elvins, I think, I don't know, MIT fellow physics guy who teaches wonderful physics in MIT lectures. All the points which you have said, like here, all the points, discipline, yes, and all those, you will see, all of these points reflecting to those great fellows who gives great lectures. And if you see their series, and then you will understand that, how great lectures can be given.
Yeah, and if the percentage of such teachers increases in our country, then definitely, tomorrow the institutes will be our best institutes in India. So
Actually, now
there are few, but we can increase the numbers.
Yeah, people will come from abroad to India for learning. Nowadays, people
sir.
think that
and India is
because India is one of the most ancient places of where the first university ever made. So,
and sir, I don't know, but as per the syllabus, new syllabus given by AICTE, there is some change in the trend of having this ancient Indian culture as one of the course,
education system.
Course.
Yes.
Yeah, even this education system, and even this physical education like yoga right. classes and all. This all are initiative are taken. Yeah, it's coming up, but the implementation has not been done so far. Maybe in some of the institute they have started, but at a larger scale, I feel that it's a high time that we need to incorporate all this.
Actually, for example, in our case, it has been already implemented because we are autonomous. So it has been already taken in at the value systems and all these things. Every semester, there is one subject which is relating to this basic humanities related subject basically, and value system, gender equality. All these things are there in every semester, one subject.
Very good, very good. Dr. Sandeep, it is very important. Otherwise, we are going to produce robots. The essence of humanities are very important.
हमारा curriculum देखिएगा आपको दिखेगा.
Anyone can provide.
Otherwise, क्या है कि ultimately human beings has to relate to human beings in a company.
Exactly.
Right?
That has been now understood.
Social human being. अभी हम लोग का students जो है, अभी हम लोग का जो students है, they are little unsocial. If I see our students.
Absolutely. This fellow is very good in Java. That fellow is very good in Python.
Yeah, we only
they're isolated. They're not communicating with each other, and the manager he takes the fayda because he knows how to communicate, and he gets most of the increments. And this fellow
even even during the placement, we provide students placement, but what happens is like after 1 year, the student leaves the company and comes back, and it has a very bad impact on even the organization, because the students, the way the attitude they have when they are working in the company, it's not good. They know maybe they are very good knowledge wise, but
you were mentioning about empathy, feeling of empathy. That is empathy. Yeah, that is feeling towards others. What the others are feeling. That is very, very important. I mean, that is also.
Sir, I have a question here. That means revising the syllabus, introducing the ancient Indian culture and history, introducing yoga is for the students. But a few minutes ago, we were talking about great teachers. When we were young, our ideals and our idols were our teachers. Every person who was in this profession were, habituated to live their life in such a way that they were example for all of us. But I personally, it is my personal opinion that in my profession right now, as you were saying that someday India will once again be a country where all the teachers used to follow this. So you are introducing the changes in the syllabus for the students, but parallelly, I feel that there is need of changing the attitude of the teachers as well. This is my
teachers. That's why training is very, very important for the teachers as well.
These kind of things are remaining limited within a few. You can count it in your. You can count it using your fingers. This should be spread all over the country. Everyone should be taken through such courses where they will once again increase their moral values. We are getting adapted to such a system that nowadays we are accepting that everything wrong done is okay.
Right. Okay. Right.
So we should
right.
come out of that.
And also, I think we are commercializing the universities and following absolute. I don't want to name some Western countries.
It is a.
You have to bring. Even the universities have several layers. There are universities which are hardcore research universities. They let them do research. But there are also universities which are mostly teaching centric. If you also want to convert that into a research based university, until you get project and until you do this and until you don't get into an NIRF ranking and all that bullshit, and faculties are in fear. What they will go and teach in the class? What they will teach in the class? They know that next there is going to be a meeting with the authority and they will tell you how many SCI journals have you published, how many projects you have made. Then he's gone. Whatever course curriculum he is actually designing out of fear, he will not even, because he has to save his job. He has to save his ass because he cannot, until he brings some funds or some projects, he cannot survive in the market.
These are the things which are getting the priority. I mean, teaching education is turning secondary. Day by day, these things
I'm listening,
are turning
please,
secondary.
Let
Only
us have
how
a
many
discussion
papers you are publishing, how many FDPs
and all these papers, most of these papers are copy paste.
I mean,
just they don't
all
produce
in documentation.
It's just for numbers, quantity.
Numbers,
just same
papers and numbers and papers and numbers.
If we really want to bring back, really want to go back to our, age of pride. Yes, we were, example for the entire world once upon a time. That's true. But right now, we are, jumbling up a lot of things. We are actually following the negative and talking about the
making faculties to be behaving like businessmen. Tell me.
The thing is that whenever the NBA thing is doing, we are everyone is doing in our department. So whatever the purpose of the NBA, to that the outcome-based learning is, everything is there. But when the NBA visitors come, they are looks for the most the criteria. They are mostly look for the criteria number that is 5. That is wherever the how much research and these things are now
that
doing.
point is 75 points only. NBA is very balanced. NBA is very balanced. They are also giving a lot of point into teaching and learning, student and faculty contribution in terms of ratios and all that. You're researching what you are saying. That point is 75 only.
Yes, the point is there, but whatever they are pressurizing most of the cases. That
they're pressurizing.
NBA actually pressurizes on faculties because they understand if you do not have the faculty, who will do all these jobs? If you say, you say 210 faculties you have to NBA and you're actually having 80 faculties, then this 80-70 faculties have to really bring about the output of the 200 faculties and show them. Then just think about the burden on 70-80 faculties. What will happen?
The amount of documentation you have done.
That is totally that is ASCII documentation.
All these things. In such a platform, and that getting recorded is not very okay. But we all know what is going on. Actually,
that's where greatness gone.
No, but we have to try our best individually. I feel that
there are so many people who are willing to.
Global problem will always remain and will always be there. But we as an individual, I think we should start. At least we can individually start, if not socially. If we one by one start doing this practice activities, then slowly, maybe one day. So let's do that at least.
Let's
do that.
But overall, if you see the flow chart of NBA, I was seeing that it is actually quite rational. In fact, they have made uniformity into the COPO attainments of the courses, the teaching learning methodologies, the faculty, the students, the overall infrastructure is all that. It is not
one of the best, sir.
It is one of the best.
Follow it honestly. If you can follow it honestly, then it is one of the best.
Yes.
You also know, we all know that what is the truth.
Actually, what is the truth? We all know.
Okay, sir. Then so what we'll do is there are some. I think you can see some questions on the screen. So maybe because of time constraint, we cannot discuss. But I'll put it in the classroom, Google Classroom. You can answer this and give us back so that after some time later, maybe if you are maybe you need to be graded. So we'll consider this. So these questions are there. 8 questions are there, and there are some questions as well on below. So I'll post all the questions in the classroom. You can create a Word file like last time, and then if you want, convert it into PDF and you post it in the classroom. Okay.
Within what time, ma'am?
No problem. We'll let you know. I'll let you know what time frame. Maybe I'll give you a week's time. So you can just write it down and send it.
Ma'am, individually we need to do this?
Yeah, individually.
Okay,
Because you are in an offline mode. So, online mode. It'll be better if you provide in individual, as per individual, copies.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So there are some questions. You can just write it down as you require. And then there's another question also. So these all questions, I'll put it in the classroom. Yeah, and one more topic, small topic. Let's just have a discussion. You all are in a head of the department as well as managing a group of maybe your courses. So I just wanted to know, as per your understanding, there are staff, there are faculties maybe under you, those who do not perform well. So we all have it, right? We all have, no? There are, because all of us are not same people. So there are people who do not want to work. Underperforming staffs are there. So what we can discuss is, can you tell me, what may be the reason for such staff, those who do not want to perform well?
May I, ma'am?
Yeah, so Dr. Pallav.
Okay. So first of all, being the head of the department, you should build up a very good relationship with the highest authority. Because until and unless you are in good terms with them, your subordinates, I mean your fellow colleagues, but who are working under you, will not be ready to obey you. And until and unless there is discipline, as we were repeatedly talking about the discipline, you cannot make anyone follow the rules, right? I mean, for example, Ramakrishna Mission, it is, not only in India, it is known worldwide because of the discipline. Indian Army, it is known because of the discipline. And, until and unless there is discipline, nothing can be done properly. And when you can, bring the discipline amongst all, which must be strictly followed, when you are having the power, people only fear the power. Even if you are the HOD, but you are not in good book of the management, they will not obey you. So first thing you should do, build up a very good relationship with the management, whether you like it or not. Keep visiting them, keep showing the people that you are in good approach with them at any moment. So if they don't follow you, that may cause harm to them. So this may sound very blunt, but that is what is going on. That's from my side. One of the points from my side.
Hello.
I would like to add some more points, ma'am.
Yeah, Sunipa, ma'am.
Yeah. So what I have observed that some underperforming staffs are there in the department as well as in the institute. They don't want to come from their comfort zone. They think that if I do this work, tomorrow again, another work will be given to my head. So this is the psychology, what I have observed in last few years. And they don't have the dissatisfaction feelings, because until and unless a man has the dissatisfaction, they can't go for the next stage of their career. So they don't have the dissatisfaction feelings at all. They are quite satisfied with that. And that is the main reason I don't want to work, because I don't need anything more from what I am today, from my organization. So in my opinion, this type of structure is present everywhere in every institute. So as a supervisor or as a manager, one should do the division of work is very, very important, because in each and every institute there are different types of work associated in everyday life. So those who are performing well, they should be given some higher level of work, and those who are not, they should be given some some easy lenient type of work. In this way, we can distribute our, I mean, level of work, but no one should be left behind. Whether you, I mean, some underperforming staff, no, he can't do anything, or she can't do anything, let him go. Not that. That will be not be the attitude. A manager should distribute the work in such a way that some underperforming staff also has to do something. It's over, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Madam, can I add something here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, I completely agree with Dr. Pallab, as he said that you have to actually have good relationship with authority. The reason behind is that, see, there are people who can be underperforming, but even if they're underperforming, you know, properly encouraged and motivated, again, you know, if we can convince them that if you can work well, that is good for the department. You know, most of the time, actually, they work. I mean, okay, sir, sorry, sir, 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 you know, kind of create some encouragement. Sometimes, you know, 50% times you can get results, but the problem is not that. Problem is that, you know, some Maruti 800s who are present in the department, who are old as gold, who are maybe underperformers, I don't know, and they try to oppose, you know, everything you do as an head of the department, you know.
But, sir, the question is, my question is, why are they underperforming? Because we need to know the reason first, no? Before we put some action on them.
I think sometimes underperformance is a matter of nature also. You know, it's a nature. The self motivation is something which may drive some person from one level to the next level. So if a person do not have completely any self motivation, or he doesn't have any passion on his job, he's not liking the job, or he has some other interest somewhere else. He's actually interested in something, but he's showing up here because he has got this service and he's just continuing for his living, but his actual interest is something else. So that is the major problem I have seen, that people do not work most of the time.
It is not just passion.
That can be taken care of, as Dr. Pallab said, that an actuation should be there from the authority. You can just inform the authority. Authority can just directly talk to those people, and that can be taken care of.
The authoritative action, the discipline, majority discipline is everything. If there is no discipline, you cannot expect anything, because these underperformers.
But some staff, even if you discipline them, it becomes forceful thing. So maybe,
right?
You know, it becomes an opposite of what we try to do.
It should come from within, actually. Otherwise,
how to
it's
handle,
impossible.
how to manage those type of stuff. What do you say?
Ma'am, can I add one point?
Yeah, sure.
Like the staffs who are underperforming, we can offer training and other resources to assist that staff. Like we may.
You say it's training, right? By giving them proper training.
Yeah, we may pair an underperforming employee with an experienced staff, like he may be his mentor, or provide him procedures manual which should be followed. Okay, we have to recognize and praise the employee when he performs at the appropriate level. If we can do so, I think the underperforming staff will come out.
Most of the time, they come out.
I think if you send to some person for training, they will also not attend the training in that way, because he is also not.
Then first of all, his attitude should change.
Because his attitude is that.
The attitude should change. Otherwise, our attitude will also change.
He is one of those students who will go to the vocational training and actually move around somewhere else, not going to the factory. He belongs to that category.
Dr. Sandeep was talking about the deadwood, complete deadwood in the department.
There are people like that who will not work at whatever you do. आप मैनेजर धमकी दाओ, कुछ भी दे दो उनको, वो बोले कि मुझे नौकरी नहीं चाहिए, मुझे इंक्रीमेंट भी नहीं चाहिए, मैं जैसा हूँ वैसा ही रहूंगा, मुझे निकाल दो, क्या कर सकते हो, निकाल दो.
One more thing is that, I mean, getting a simple answer to this question is very difficult, you know.
Right.
Sitting in West Bengal, you will get a feeling. Sitting in Chhattisgarh, you will get another feeling. Sitting in Sikkim, you will get another feeling. Even in West Bengal, someone sitting in IEM will get one feeling. Someone sitting in some other institute will get another. I mean, that's the truth, madam. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think so. Motivation is, I think, where we lack. The way we motivate them, the method that we use.
Madam.
So not only disciplining them, but we have to motivate them. So that
we have to set clear expectations from them.
Yeah, and that too, like, like kids, we give them toffees and we make them work. So something like, if it works with that person, we have to see, person by person, view in a different, not that like as a whole you just implement one rule and ask everyone to follow.
One
There
to
may
one.
be some,
It has
yeah,
to be.
one to one. There may be some who doesn't like to follow rules, those who like always to break the rules.
Moreover, this give and take should be properly followed. I mean, it's not like that you are saying somebody that this will happen if you do that. And ultimately, once the job is done, then you forget him or her. Okay, they will also act like accordingly in the next year. He will not do. So
next time he will not do.
Next time he will not do. How much he will endure?
Yeah,
that also happens.
Further complexity increases, like let us say you are from Kolkata and you become HOD somewhere in remote Tamil Nadu college, Tirunelveli. Then it is very difficult because you don't know the language. Your department is somebody, when you don't know the culture, and you have become the head at that particular time. It's very difficult to handle. It might so happen that we might also have to work outside the state also. It's not that every time we'll be working here, right?
So yeah, based on that only, like training, that is one idea. Motivating for one-to-one, observing, again, helping them personally. I feel this way we can help these underperforming staff as well. Getting involved with them, understanding what their problems are, directly implementing rules and making them disciplined. I think that will not work every time for everyone. So these are some ways out we can help them to, perform well. Yes, so that was what we all accepted as well. So so this was what we discussed. So these are these are the decline in performance. Like they are bored, and like some of you said, dead bodies. Someone like that, stale, बासी हो गया है, कब का है, बुढ़ा हो गया, अभी नहीं करना है, अभी चेंज नहीं करना है, जैसा था वैसा ही चेंज, वैसा ही रहना है, like that. That may be one of the reasons for their performance to decline. Lack of progression opportunities. Like if you are given an assistant post and you are asked to stay there forever, you're not given any opportunities to go up. That may be one of the reasons why his performance is not well. Or some reason, maybe like, some person, they start working continuously and then there is no encouragement from the management side. Yeah, come on, there's no pat on the back that yes, you did it. There are some managers who doesn't do that. Then what happens, अरे यार कितना करता हो फिर भी कुछ नहीं होता है, ऐसे करके वो, that things comes out. So because of that also performance decreases. Not buying institutes, not coping up with the change, approaching retirement. अभी 1 साल है या 2 साल है, अरे रिटायरमेंट होने वाला है, क्या करेंगे, छोड़ दो. This happens, no? Is it or not?
No, if nowadays in private sector ऐसे होने से they will be retired 10 years before retirement.
नहीं, सब जगह पे नहीं होता
है वो.
नहीं. In all places it doesn't happen, sir. Some places it happens.
It's wait, some places it happen now.
Yeah, and if it happens, then you already have some person who will be not doing anything. You have in your list you have 10 people, and you know that actually you have 9. You have to make it outside. So it's a dangerous thing actually if it is there.
Right. And some they may have personal problem also because of that also. They may be decline.
Ego is fix some problems because
even people, at the family problem, personal family problem,
health problem also maybe.
Health problem हो रहा है, कुछ हो रहा है, changes in home, कुछ भी personal problems हो रहा है, तो performance में तो hamper करेगा ही ना.
हमने देखा है सर, किसी का झगड़ा है, नई शादी है, तो उसका बार-बार कंप्लेन आ रहा है, क्लास ठीक नहीं हो रहा है. तो आपने देखा ये.
What do you mean by please elaborate? What do you mean by
no, actually क्या हुआ था? नहीं, what happened? If I have 1 minute, just to.
Sir, let's discuss.
So what happened? Actually, we have had a teacher, and now he's transferred to some other college. So we had this story that he's in love, and soon the marriage will happen. So most of the times we used to find that he's talking in long time in the phone, and it appears to be something like fighting. So once the marriage happened, we went to the marriage and everything was good. Okay, खाना वाना अच्छा हुआ, सब कुछ अच्छा हुआ ना, पर उसके बाद शुरू हुआ problem. 1 महीने बाद से मेरे पास आया कंप्लेन कि ये सर कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है, क्लास में ठीक ठाक नहीं बोलते, बार बार फोन आता है। तो हमने पूछा एक दिन बाकी बोलते सर सब तो ওটা তো আমি তো করেই যাই সবকিছু, मैं तो करके ही जाता हूँ सब कुछ प्रिपरेशन, और फिर भी ऐसा है। बट एक्चुअली में वो he's unrest. How exactly he will perform? He's unrest, that I can understand. So it happens. It's a reality.
Yeah, it's a reality that happens even for us also. If you are not
Many
in a
us,
good mood,
maybe we are all human beings.
But I have seen also faculties नई शादी करके the performance enhances like anything.
हाँ, ये भी हो सकता है, अच्छा बन गया।
कुछ भी हो सकता है, but it matters. It matters. At the end
You
of the day,
cannot
it
say
matters.
that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And घर में कुछ problem हो रहा है, that also matters. है ना? So that was what we discussed. I think it was a good session, very nice interaction from your side. So we discussed about, finding out our hedgehogs, identifying, how can we make a transition from good to great. We also saw the reasons why staff do not perform well. We can help them out in various manners, various management ways also. So these were the things that we discussed in today's class, and this is the final task that is there in the topic. But I think it's already 3:10, so I'll give you some moment of time before we start our games. And these questions, I think I'll post it in the classroom. Because if we start discussing, it might take another more than half an hour. Okay. So do you mind ending the session?
Yeah, absolutely, no problem.
Okay, so
Looking
I'll post all the questions by tomorrow. Okay, so the deadlines and timelines also, I will put it in the same task as well in the classroom. Okay, sir, madam. So we'll meet again in the next game session.
This one we need to write by tomorrow?
No. I will post it by tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll post it by tomorrow.
Within 7 days.
I'll give you enough time. No problems. I'll give you enough time. You all are at home. So
yeah. By workshop 3 we have to give.
by the time you will forget, that is the time.
No, you by workshop 3 you might forget. So
no, madam, definitely not. We will never forget. We will remember.
Okay, no problem. I give you enough time to write this. So by the note of this, so let's end here. Thank you so much, all of you, for interacting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
We'll meet again in the next session. Okay, so let's have a 10 minutes break, because I'll have to inform Sandhya ma'am also for the game session. So we'll come together. So you can take 10 minutes of break. Have a coffee break.
Coffee?
Anything, sir. You are at home.
Okay, I'll drink a glass of water.
Now I'm in a college now.